Hello, hello, hello! You're listening to another episode of the Friends in the Wild podcast. I'm one of your co hosts, Laura Grace Jenkins.
And I'm Mallie Cole. And
I
welcome
think
back,
that we should.
guys.
I think that we should get like a intro that we do every single time. Nailed
That's all
down.
on you.
I
You're
know.
the
I need to
intro
figure
queen.
something out.
I've got the outro down pat.
You do. You do. You really do. Anyways, so today we are celebrating Valentine's Day. I think that Friday is Valentine's Day. Yeah, so
Yeah, it
happy
is.
Valentine's Day, everybody. It is the day of love. We hope that you are surrounded by people you love today. And if you're not, then you should mail them a card. It's okay if it's late. Everyone loves to get Valentine's Day mail. So that's what I
Right.
recommend.
And you're listening to us, and we love you, so
Yeah.
you're in good
Has
company.
has Colin asked you to be his Valentine?
No, but he did ask me to be his wife, so I'll let it
Yeah.
slide.
He gets a pass for this year.
Yeah, I
Do you
guess.
do you think that people actually get mad if like their man doesn't ask them to be their Valentine? That
Like
was
when
like a
they're
thing a couple years ago.
dating or like when they're married.
Dating, we'll say dating. Like that's a
I
thing, girls like expect
probably
it.
some people do. I never really cared. It was
Yeah.
kind of a given,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Do
Also,
you
Mabel's here with us today, guys. She's being so shy.
She's being so sweet. She's my Valentine this year.
Okay.
Just
Please
kidding.
take her.
Did you just hear that?
Begging. Yeah, did you just get a package?
No, I got an email.
Oh. Anyways, guys, I'm so excited for this week's episode. I just love when our topics get me all giddy and excited, and
Me
I'm
too.
giddy and excited over this. So we ended last week's episode with kind of a teaser of this week's um, rules of the dating game, all things of that nature. So class is in session. You need to be sat and attentive to your teachers.
Yeah, so this was inspired by I said last week, one of at the very end of the episode. So if you didn't get that far,
It's literally fun.
this is like gonna show that you didn't get that far if you don't get it. But
Yeah.
I'll fill you in anyway. One of my cousins said she is like, in high school, and one of her ex-boyfriends was like trying to weasel his way back into her life. And her mom was telling me that she listens to our podcast and she was like, both Mallie and Laura Grace are in relationships where like they've broken up and then gotten back together. And we were like, okay, we have to make a disclaimer that in no way do we support getting back together with your ex ever. Like it works out much less frequently than it ends horribly. So
Yeah. You need
if you
to
want to,
follow a strict checklist when
yeah,
considering getting back together with your ex. So we will guide you. As two successful girls who are dating their exes, we'll be the trailblazers for you all.
yes. And we just thought that that was a really cozy, fun sleepover vibe of a topic. So we're both in our pajamas today. I have a snow day here in Virginia. We have like a foot of snow outside. It has snowed
That's
so
crazy.
much. I know, it's crazy.
It's
So I
so
had a snow
magical.
day. I know, it is. And like as we were talking about before, the snow is so silent and peaceful. I love when it's like actively coming down. I love when it's
Oh,
just on the ground and you play too, but I love when it's snowing actively. Anyway,
yeah. We just have
um,
the rainiest, gloomiest, coldest day on Earth here.
yeah,
So,
you're getting all the precipitation, but it's just
yeah.
rain instead of snow. But I had a class on Zoom today, and then my other class was canceled, so I have lots of time to work on other things today and be cozy, and that makes me very happy.
Nothing like a good cozy snow day.
I know.
For real. So we have just a few things to recap on the Super Bowl. And first off, I just need to say that if you all are loyal listeners, and at the beginning of the football season, I said that I was going to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan because I have been my whole life, but
Mhm.
just needed to put it out there. And now they're Super Bowl champions. So, you're welcome.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like I deserve a ring for that, probably. I'm just so good at manifesting things. So,
I agree.
yeah, did you watch it?
I was in Cookeville seeing Ryan for the day, and I didn't actually watch it, but, like, it was turned on in my presence for, like, maybe part of the first half, I don't know, and then I had to go home, so
Yeah. I watched halftime and on.
yeah. But I feel like
And
we're both caught up. We know everything that happened.
unfortunately, that's all my TikTok page has been.
Me too.
Like, I can't escape it.
Mine is
But
mostly the Kendrick Lamar halftime show.
yes, and mine is a little bit of the Eagles just because
Yeah.
I like them.
I did see the video of Travis Kelce in his, like, party outfit, in
And
his
it looked like pajamas.
sparkly shirt, and he was so sad, yeah.
Yeah.
It was that's
First
gonna
off,
that's gonna be a meme forever. Travis Kelce in his sparkly shirt leaving
yeah,
after he lost the Super Bowl.
we need to talk about Taylor Swift getting booed,
Yeah.
which is, like, so heartbreaking.
Well, I think that I'm trying not to take it personally, and I'm just saying, like, because that would be really personal to me.
Mhm.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
that I think this I've heard that the stadium was full of more Eagles fans than Chiefs fans. So, like, she's, like, Mrs. Chiefs these days, even though she's been a lifelong Eagles fan. But I
that's
think
what's
that
the sad part, is she, like, loves the Eagles, and she did not
yeah.
wear any Chiefs gear.
I know,
She
she just
wore
wore
all
white.
white.
I wasn't really loving her outfit, actually.
No, but I love the fact that she didn't wear Chiefs stuff. It
Yeah.
was like she didn't wanna turn on she
Yeah,
literally sings about the Eagles in one of her songs, and it just breaks my heart because she
I
loves
know.
them, and then, like, she loves Travis and the Chiefs, and the boo was, like, so loud.
And her
I'm like,
face
"Just
during it,
let her live.
I know.
Literally
Like,
just
she's
let her
literally just
live."
there to see her boyfriend.
And she doesn't ask to get put on the jumbotron. I'm sure she would
No.
much rather not be on the jumbotron.
Yeah, and with all the Blake Lively stuff going on right now, she kinda has some negative press, so I'm sure she wanted to, like, fly under the radar as much as possible, which is
Yeah.
probably why part of the reason she wore such a, like, understated outfit, you know?
Yeah. I just felt so bad for her because, like, at the end of the day, she's still human and she's there to support her boyfriend who everyone loves. And then you come on the screen and they boo you. But honestly, she's so used to it at this point.
Yeah,
Everybody hates her.
and people just hate the Chiefs so much right now, you know?
Yeah, they really do.
So
So, also, did you see that Serena tweeted, "Don't listen to them, Taylor. We love
yes,
you."
Serena Williams, yeah.
Yeah. Me, first name only, Serena.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the halftime show. Kendrick Lamar was the halftime entertainment. And I just have to say, I'm gonna wrap my parents out. It was hard for me to enjoy because the TikTok sounds like, and this agitating, grating voice.
Yes.
They would not stop talking during it.
Oh, really? Were they talking about it or
They
just
were like,
generally?
that was like, oh, if Metallica did the halftime show, everybody would go crazy. I was like, this is just not. You are not Kendrick Lamar's demographic.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
And I get it. I'm not a huge rap person, but that's just because it's not for me, you know? It is for other people, and my TikTok has been full of people's, like, reactions, and
Yeah,
I
and
love watching them, and I know some of Kendrick's songs, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great halftime show
I completely agree, and, like, there was so much,
to
like,
unpack.
perfectly subtle, like, Easter eggs about his beef with Drake. There was, like, some, like, tasteful political commentary. Like, I thought it was done really well. I really did.
I think that it may have been underwhelming for people actually at the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
and
but
it
that's,
was
like, a fraction of the people who watch it, you know?
exactly. It was just entertaining for people on TV because they could get all the angles and it's up close. You can actually see him. I
Yeah,
could see how his stage performance may have been a little underwhelming because people at the Super Bowl did not like it, is what I'm gathering.
yeah.
But I thought it was like everyone running out of the car. I thought that was so cool. All the dancers, I loved their outfits and like the uniform and the dancing. And then when SZA came on,
Yeah.
I was like, "Everyone shut up," because Colin was here, and mom and dad were still yip yapping. They were like, "SZA?" I was like, "Yes, stop talking. The queen is singing." She her voice is so unreal,
I love SZA.
and I think she could be the prettiest person on this earth.
I also agree with that. And have you seen that there's a movie out right now with her and Keke Palmer, my favorite person on earth?
Maybe that's the clips I'm getting, because I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. if we were together, I would make you go see it with me, like, tonight because
Is it
it
in
looks
theaters?
so good. It's in theaters, yeah, I thought I could
Hmm.
watch it last night, like, on streaming, but it's in theaters.
Ooh, we
I
need to watch
know.
that.
I think it's hysterical.
Oh, I'm sure they're both Keke Palmer,
She's the funniest person that has ever walked the earth. She's
she is
hilarious.
so witty. She's so funny.
And she's also, like, just being genuine. Like, she's just
Yeah,
being serious.
yeah. Also, apparently SZA had a relationship with Drake in the past when they were younger,
Yeah.
but
Because have you seen that video of Keke Palmer saying, like, "Is Drake a good kisser?" or
yes,
whatever?
I'm glad our For You pages are exactly the same.
No.
Um, so for those who do not know, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, who's also a rapper, have some beef of who knows why, but they've had long-standing beef. So Kendrick just came out with his Grammy-winning song "Not Like Us," which is a diss track completely towards Drake, where he literally says his name
Yeah.
and calls him a predator. So he won a Grammy literally last week for this song and then performed it at the Super Bowl. But he like kept teasing with the intro because the intro is very recognizable. And he kept a lot of people didn't think he would sing it.
Because he got sued for it, right?
Yeah. Or he's gonna get sued.
Yeah.
Definitely, if he hasn't been sued, there will definitely be a lawsuit on the way.
Yeah.
Um,
But who cares?
the performance of the song "Not Like Us," when he said "Say Drake"
I
and
know.
he was just smiling, looking directly at the camera.
No.
Someone I saw this TikTok, and it said, "This is just proof that being petty to your fullest extent will always work out for you
I
in the
know,
end."
I've seen people saying, like, "Kendrick Lamar is inspiring me to be a bigger hater. I'm not hating to my fullest extent." And I was like, "You know what?
Yeah.
They're onto something."
And then when he sings the iconic line of "A minor," the way the crowd, everyone at the Super Bowl was singing, imagine, like, being Drake, and not only does your diss track have a Grammy, but then everyone at the Super Bowl is
Yeah.
singing about you being a predator. If I was Kendrick Lamar, nothing could stop me at that
No, and I
moment.
don't think anything can. He's on top of the world right now.
He's
Also,
so cute.
the
He's
way
so little.
that's another thing. I didn't know that he was short. He's
Mhm.
5'6".
I don't know, but he was working those flare jeans.
Yeah, what was up with that too?
I don't
Everybody
know, but I love them.
everybody was like, "What exactly is the brand of those jeans?" They're my
They're like,
dream
"Drop the
jeans.
link."
Um, but the song is just so good. Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A
A
minor.
minor. And then his necklace
That's
is the A
hilarious.
minor music
Yes.
symbol. Just so
Certified
much.
certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like,
Yes.
he's hilarious. And my friends here, we were like, I don't know if I really like Kendrick Lamar. A couple of us were saying that, and they're like, he's won a did you know he's won a Pulitzer Prize?
No.
Yeah. Because apparently his music, I'm about to be in my Kendrick Lamar era.
You
I just
already
entered
am.
my, like, massive Beyoncé era. I listen to all of Cowboy Harder, by the way, which I'll talk about in a second. But, apparently his music is like poetry, like, so good.
Yeah. I've already been on a
Pulitzer Prize
Kendrick
winning.
kick.
You
I've
have
been
been.
listening to it nonstop. Um, and especially his songs with SZA.
Yeah.
Luther, mm, it hits the spot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Mally sent that to me last night, and I think I listened to it, like, 5 times
Yeah,
last night.
it's just so vibey.
It's so good.
And then on top of all this, during Not Like Us, he brings out Serena Williams to crip walk during the
Who
song,
who also used to date Drake.
who used to date Drake, and also apparently when she won the Olympics, she crip walked after she won, and like got a massive ton of hate for doing that.
Like, maybe even got fined or something.
I think she did get fined.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You know what? If I can't do it here, I'll do it at the Super Bowl on Drake's grave." Okay,
Wait,
women like hop on.
say what you told me last night about her husband.
So apparently Drake has been notorious for singing about his relationship with Serena for years now. And he at one point in a song called out Serena's husband for being a groupie, which Serena's husband then replied that he's going to stay doing what he does best, being a groupie for his wife and daughter, and like posted a picture with them. And like Drake needs to shut up.
And while we're talking about dating rules, that's a perfect husband.
Yeah,
If your
and
husband isn't
that's why
doing
he's
things like
a
that.
husband. That's why he's a husband.
Mhm.
Sorry. Not me telling Drake to shut up. I literally have no Kendrick could be so in the wrong. I would have no idea.
I don't think so. Um, which I saw like a brief TikTok video, like going over it all. So apparently Kendrick opened for Drake a long time ago,
Yeah,
and then him and someone else who actually at the moment I can't remember, but Drake now has beef with both of them for some reason.
yeah,
So I think Drake just like collects beefs, you know?
yeah. He might just be a beef collector.
Mhm.
But anyways, that's the rundown of the Super Bowl that I'm sure is gonna be such old news by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm obsessed. So,
Oh, and Samuel L. Jackson, that was a perfect touch too.
yeah, yeah. It was just it was a great performance, I thought. Even though it might not have been, like, my favorite type of music, I think the Super Bowl is more about it's not about a concert, it's about a performance.
Yeah.
So you gotta have someone who can dance and do the theatrics and stuff like that, and I think
Yeah.
that that was a good pick.
What Super Bowl performance sticks out to you the most of our
Probably
lifetime?
Rihanna.
I was gonna say Rihanna too.
I mean, she announced her pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
mean, she was
pretty
just
iconic.
pregnant, like,
Huh?
she was just pregnant, like,
Yeah,
the
and
lights came
nobody
on
knew.
her. Yeah. I also think one that's super iconic is the Katy Perry. Remember, like, the left shark meme for a
I
long time? It was a
I can't
long time
remember.
ago.
Maybe.
Like, something about the left shark was, like, doing the wrong dance moves, I don't remember, but
And Lady Gaga, hers stands out to me
yeah.
too.
And isn't there one where wasn't it the Super Bowl when Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears question mark?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. I think that was probably before our time, but anyways,
Anyway,
so I don't think there's anything else to discuss about the Super
we
Bowl.
literally spent probably like 20 minutes talking about the Super
The
Bowl,
Chiefs were horrible.
and the Eagles were excelente,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited, so happy. I feel a renewed Eagle spirit in
Yeah,
me.
and the Chiefs really didn't like they flew way too close to the sun. Their wings were
They did.
melting.
They needed to be humbled, and I feel like the Eagles are just so wholesome. I've been watching a lot of interviews and stuff, and I'm sad that they won the year after Jason Kelsey left
I
because that would have been
know.
so fun
Mhm.
for him. But oh well. Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about Super Bowl.
So we have something extremely exciting to discuss. Wait, yeah, you said you were gonna talk about this. I was like, "Wait, am I
Yes.
about to say something that you don't wanna say?" Um, so to introduce this, I'm just gonna say very quickly that I'm supporting Mally by the coffee I'm drinking right now. Um, the creamer that's in my coffee is called wedding cake, or it's the flavor
Ooh,
is wedding cake.
that's cute.
So that introduces our next topic. Mally, take it away.
Yeah, so this is actually huge monumental news for anyone who knows me and knows that I've been struggling to find a wedding dress. I finally found one on Saturday, and what a relief. What a relief it has been. But what a day it was. What a day it was. Like I
Okay,
said though.
can I just give my opinion on your dress really quick?
Yeah,
So I have never seen a more beautiful dress. It is perfect
clearly don't lie.
for Mally. Well, maybe like the dress on its own, like on a hanger, wouldn't be like the most beautiful dress, but it's so perfect for Mally. It literally is so flattering. I can't wait for your wedding, which is in 4 months, which is terrifying. Anyways, please continue.
That is terrifying. That is extremely terrifying. But thank you. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm really excited. I can't give too much detail just because I literally can't do that. Because I know me, I know I will give too much. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to see the dress in T minus 4 months.
Yep.
Anyways, so my mom and I, we go to the town that we're going to be dress shopping in. We go to the first place. I think that was the best consultation, like, person to help me. She was so nice to me. She wasn't like trying to sell me anything. She genuinely wanted me to find what was for me. So I ended up falling in love with the dress there, but I already had an appointment at another place and it's a $70 fee if you cancel. I was like, heck, I'll go try
Whoa.
on a few dresses and save us $75. So we go to the next store, and that was the most beautiful wedding dress shop I've ever been into.
Mm.
Once we do a wedding episode later, I'll give like all the names and stuff of all these places. But it was stunning. Like, if I could tell people to go to one place, I would say go there simply for the experience.
Yeah. Does it make you like
So,
feel like a bride?
Yeah. So, my mom and I were leaving, we're gonna go back to the first place and get the dress, and we walk out, and my mom's a little bit ahead of me, and then she goes, "Mally, where's our car?" And I was like, "It's right here." And I turn the corner and I look, our car is gone. And, like, we parked
What?
in a very distinct spot, no one was parked there, and our car is literally gone. So, we parked in a parking lot, and, like, there was signs in the parking lot, "No parking," but where we
Mhm.
parked was behind the building we were going in, and there was no signs on that building, so we were like, "Oh, this must be, like, a business parking, we'll park here." So, I'm like, "Well, let's just call the number on these other signs," and they were like, "Yeah, your car's been towed," and we were like, "Oh." They said, "It'll be $180 cash,"
Oh
and they're
my
about
god.
12-minute walk from us.
Have you ever had your car towed before?
No.
Me neither.
It was terrifying, cause like, you
Mhm.
don't know if it's been towed or if it's been stolen.
Yeah.
Equally the same
So
thing.
wait, did you
Mm,
have to walk there?
look yeah. So, my mom didn't have enough cash, my wallet was in the car. So, we go back in the bridal shop, we're like, "So sorry, our car got towed. Where's an ATM?" So, the girl ends up giving us $100 and I had to Venmo her. And my mom and I go on this
She was
walking
like, "The ATM
quest.
is right here."
She's like, "Baby, I am the ATM." I said, "Pop off, mama, because I am not." Um, we literally are not in a very safe area. Like, we were in downtown Johnson City, just walking. Johnson City's, like, kind of sketch sometimes, and we, like, got away from the downtown area, and we're literally just walking on the side of the road. It was terrifying. So I call
That
my
is
dad.
I cannot imagine, like, driving in Johnson City and just seeing you guys, like, on the side of the highway. You 2.
Exactly. So vulnerable. So vulnerable. Me and my mom were not meant to be on the side of the street walking. So I call my dad and I make him talk to us the whole walk there. My mom's ticked, she's speed walking, and I can't keep up. Anyways, we get to the car lot. I see the car, it's behind a fence, and we have to wait for the tow truck to get there. Literally, this man pulls up in a zebra tow truck. You can't make this crap up. You cannot. He gets out and he's like, "Yeah, it'll be 180 cash." My mom's like, "Who?" She's like, "I know it's not your fault, but, like, who called this in?" Because there was no signs. Apparently, they just sit and watch it. It's an apartment complex parking, and they literally just sit and watch it.
Instead of posting a sign.
Oh, yeah. So, we're standing there, my mom's, like, getting the cash. These 2 guys, like, stroll by on bicycles and honk a clown horn at us. And it's just like, salt in the wound, Twilight Zone to the max.
Yeah. The most embarrassing part of that is the clown horn
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. So we get our car. Mom opens her car door. I had left a coffee sitting on the console because I wasn't expecting our car to get towed. Her floorboard is a puddle of coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I had a roll of toilet paper. We were literally cleaning up coffee with toilet paper. The guy brought us a trash can and he was so nice, and a towel. And he was just trying to help us because he knew that it was like kind of a crappy situation.
Yeah.
So we finally got the car and went and got the other dress. But it was just like the moment was kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
There
But
wasn't
yeah.
quite as much joy in that.
But you know what? That's how I know that I'm making the right decision. When my life is having absolute tremendous terrible luck, I'm like, I'm right where I need to be.
So
And
true.
like my mom just has terrible luck. Like teen board one year, someone literally stole her phone and the police had to go to their house and track it down. The next year she gets a ticket. I
Yeah,
mean,
I do not remember the stealing her phone thing
oh
at all.
yeah.
That
They
is
tracked it. They
crazy.
literally stole it.
So they
And the
got
police
it back?
Yeah, the police went to their house and got it, and we had to go to the police station that night after we got home from teen board and pick it up.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, I just know when tragedy strikes that I'm doing something right.
Sure. Yep, I'm with
So, at
you.
least I have a dress. I will say the dress that I got, they were like, because I didn't get it in the exact style that it was in the store, and they were like, usually they don't just ship out the style you want. And then we looked to see what was coming. My size, the style I want, is literally being shipped. There was only 2 dresses being
This is
shipped, and one
perfect.
of them was my exact one that I wanted. So I took that as
Dang.
a sign also.
Mhm.
But yeah, that
So
was a
wait, it's
long
not
story.
the exact same style as the picture you showed me?
The back isn't.
Okay,
I can tell you later.
okay.
But
It's top
anyways,
secret for now.
yeah, top secret. Enough about me. Just know that like a burden has been lifted. So
I know has that been your favorite part of, like, planning your wedding so far?
dress shopping.
Mhm.
I feel like it would have been if I would have done it. I didn't realize people get their wedding dresses a year in advance because it takes months for them to be made and shipped. Like they recommend you go get your dress 12 to 6 months before your wedding.
Oh,
I
wow.
wasn't under I wasn't aware that was the timeline for wedding dress shopping.
Yeah,
So I feel like if I would have been, it would have been more enjoyable. Now it's just been stressful because it's like, okay, you get married in like 3 months and a few days. Actually, more, but
that
still.
is stressful. Yeah, for sure.
So, anywho,
Um, well, I am most excited about that part of your wedding dress planning personally. However, I do love your save the dates.
thank you.
Anyways, going back very briefly to the Super Bowl, I was just scrolling on Reddit yesterday and I saw a story that I really wanted to get your opinion on. I was talking to
Okay,
Ryan about it last night, so I have a man's opinion, and by the way, I completely disagree with him. But
of course.
it's a am I overreacting story, and it's like so
Ooh,
quintessential Super Bowl. Okay,
okay.
okay. Am I overreacting? I turned off the Super Bowl and my boyfriend lost it. Dun dun dun. Okay. Okay, so I've been dating my boyfriend for almost a year now, and yesterday we got into a huge argument over the Super Bowl. He had his friends over at our place to watch the game, which was fine. I wasn't really into football, but I was cool with them hanging out. Everything was okay at first, but then out of nowhere, he tells me, "Hey, can you go grab us some more drinks? We're out." I kind of laughed at first because I thought he was joking, but then he literally paused, looked at me, and said, "No, seriously, just go real quick." Like I was some waitress or something. I told him he should have stocked up earlier and that I didn't really feel like running to the store in the middle of the game for something he should have planned for. But instead of just accepting that, he got all pissy and was like, "It's not a big deal, just go, we're watching the game." At that point, I was already annoyed because I was literally sitting there minding my business, and now I'm expected to leave just because he and his friends didn't think ahead. So I told him no, and he kept pushing and saying I was making this harder than it needed to be. So yeah, I got mad, and maybe I was being petty, but I grabbed the remote and turned the TV off. I told him if he cared so much about the drinks, he could go get them himself. Now today, he's still mad and told me I embarrassed him in front of his friends. I feel like he was the only one I feel like he was the one being entitled, but now I'm second guessing myself. Like, did I overreact by turning off the game? Should I have just let it go? Initial thoughts.
Um,
I feel like this is a good one because it could kind of go either way.
yeah. Well, him basically insinuating it was her job to go get drinks. Heck no.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about if I was in this situation. But the thing about me is I just want Colin to have so much fun.
Yeah.
Like when he's with his friends, he probably would not have had to have asked me. I would have probably saw that like something's running low, and I
Hmm.
would have went and got it
Yeah.
myself without having to be asked because I'm just such a good girlfriend.
You're
But
not a
no, like I
girlfriend
just
anymore. And that's probably why, actually.
yeah, that's why I'm
You
getting
were
worked up.
upgraded.
But I feel like you kind of get the vibe I'm talking about. Is
Yeah.
like even if you're celebrating like a friend, you're hosting a party for someone and you're like, "Oh, the chips are almost out. Let me go get some more chips." But it's different when you have to leave the function. It's like, "Okay, do we really need it that much?" Chances are, and if it's alcohol, you probably don't need it that much. If you've already ran out
Yeah.
with what you had, chances are you're probably reaching your limit anyways.
Yeah.
Um, him telling her that it's, like, not that big of a deal, if it's not that big of a deal, you go do it.
Yeah. Agree.
Sorry. I'm not your I am not your maid.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I would have turned off the TV because I would have been mindful of everyone else in the room, and I would said, "Come here, let's talk," and we would have went in a different room, and I would have then explained why I'm not leaving to
Yeah.
get your drinks. Um, so I don't blame her for not going. I don't know if
Yeah.
I would have turned off the TV just because I don't like attention, and that would be very attention grabbing, but
Well, I do
what were
like
your
attention.
thoughts?
However, I wouldn't turn off the TV. I think she was overreacting by turning off the TV. However, I think she was, like, totally fine and not going to get more drinks.
Yeah, no, I would've
However,
not done that.
my general takeaway from that is that these 2 people don't like each other,
Yeah,
which leads us into what we're gonna talk about, but I just think, like, she clearly didn't care about whether or not he and his friends had a good time, and when you like someone and you, like, are in love with them and, like, want to whatever, you want them to have a good time, and therefore,
yes.
I think if she liked him, she would've probably just went and got the drinks. However, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say, like, they were already in an argument, and I feel like when you're in an argument, you kinda, like, don't like each other for a
Yeah.
second, you know? So maybe
Look
it was
at
that
how cute
situation.
Mabel is. I'm so sorry.
I know, and she's being so calm.
She's being an angel right now, and she's
She is.
cute. Anyways,
But anyways, yeah.
so let this be the first discussion of the rules of dating.
Well, this guy there's a person who responded and said a perfect response. So let me
Oh,
share this
okay,
response
okay.
really quick. This guy says, or pull my classic move, texting my wife to save face, saying something like, "Hey, I really screwed up and we're about to run out of beer. If you could make a beer run, I'll do anything we want. We can watch Devil Wears Prada later tonight or that Sandra Bullock Ryan Reynolds movie tomorrow. Just please make this happen for me." And my wife will say something like, "I'm going to the store. Anyone need anything?" And I'll casually say, "If you got a free hand, we could use some beers, but no biggie." Meanwhile, she returns with beer. She looks like the hero, and I look like I chose the best wife on earth, and none of our friends are the wiser because we exercise some dang discretion. And that I completely agree with.
No, that is exactly how that should have been handled.
Yeah, that's so sweet and cute,
Yeah. So,
and everybody
number
wins.
1 rule in rules of dating, the way you will know you are with someone that you are supposed to be with is when you would sacrifice your own time and effort to know that they are happy and content.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is like even in friendships, you know you're in the right friendship, you know you're in the right relationship in general, is when you would put yourself at the expense of someone else's happiness, not in a negative, abusive power way, like they steal all your joy to make them happy, but like you wouldn't have a problem with going out of your way. So, like, Colin's playing in a basketball league, and I want him to be able to make it to his games so he can play and have fun. So, like, I will take him to his games, or like, I will go with him so he's not alone because I want him. I know he thinks it's fun, so I want to go with him,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
definitely. And I think another key part of that, like, absolutely you need to be willing to do that, and I feel like in the wrong relationship, you're just not as willing to do that, but also some people are just always willing to do that, and I think it's important for those type of people to be with someone who is never going to take advantage of that, and that's really hard to find, I think.
Yeah, or
Someone who
so
isn't going to take advantage of, like, your willingness to sacrifice your own
yes.
time and
They
energy.
need to reciprocate that and, like, making sure that you have a good time. They see
Mhm.
the effort that you're putting into everyone else, so they want others to put the same effort in for you,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So and that's, like I think that's whenever you're able to see yourself hindsight and be like, "The reason I'm doing this is because I love them," that's such a refreshing feeling.
I agree.
It was like
Yeah.
we were talking about a few weeks ago, the motherly, like, instinct that we have over our boyfriends, like, making sure they have a good lunch. And, like, Colin right now, I've been ordering him some scrubs for work, and, like, he needs a lunchbox, and I wanna get him a water bottle, and I
You're
feel like
you are turning into a wife.
I'm turning into a mother, but
Yeah.
whatever. Like, that's, like, back to school haul. That's what I'm
Literally.
getting. But, like, that's how you know you love someone is, like,
You wanna take care of them.
you literally want to nurture them
Yeah.
and make sure that they are fulfilled and never have to put any effort and, like, always have everything they could possibly need and
Yeah.
more. But it's also sweet. But I'm
But
also like, "Okay, what's
we
going
kinda
on?"
we kinda have to get over that before we have kids, or our children are never gonna be able to do anything, which is something that I think about now, like, I will want to do everything for my children,
Oh, yeah. But,
Like, I
like, you
know.
can't, because then they won't know how to do anything for
I
themselves.
know. But then I'm like, but honestly, my mom does everything that I ever
Yeah,
possibly could need,
same.
so
I don't think my mom's ever told me no.
you just have to I think which this is purely my guess because I'm nowhere near having kids, but I think you just have to teach them to appreciate it and teach them that, like, not everybody has
Yes.
this and, anyway.
Right.
and not to be a
And
brat.
sometimes you need to tell your children no.
Yeah,
Like, my
sure.
mom and dad, I didn't have an iPhone when I was in middle school, like, and I'm thankful for that. I'm so
Mhm.
thankful for that. It was well into high school, and, like, they set pretty good pace and boundary with those things. So, I think that
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to navigate as a
I
parent.
think the social media thing as a parent will be, like, impossible to navigate because even my little cousins, I'm like, "No, they don't need to be on social media." Like, there's
Yeah.
horrible, horrible things on there that they just aren't old enough to understand and, like, to deal with yet.
Yep.
And also, I just want them to be so innocent and not know about all this stuff for as long as possible. And I imagine that
Exactly.
that's how parents feel.
Yes. Oh,
But,
she's risen from the dead.
she's about to go crazy. Although she's look at her little beard. She's so
Guys,
cute.
she had to be shaved, so don't look at her body. Literally look neck up and don't
She's
judge.
so adorable. If you're
Literally don't
listening on
judge.
audio only, you're gonna wanna go look at Hazel yawn and be cute.
You just called her Hazel?
Episode over.
I'm so sorry, honey.
Mabel, 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 Mabel.
Now you're really gonna get her going crazy because you
Anyway,
finally said her name.
moving on. So we ask a couple of questions on Instagram. What are your dating negotiables? Red flags you can't look past. Do you believe in the one? That one was like a poll. And then unspoken rules of dating. So non-negotiables, we got some responses on a different platform that I'll be happy to share with you. Number one is the expectation to be talking all day, every day is a non-negotiable. Like that won't be happening.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Like, that's exhausting.
I agree.
It's kinda cute when you first start dating because it's like, "Oh, waiting by
Yeah.
the phone," and
And
then
it's
it's
like
like,
it's like gonna happen when you first start dating.
yeah,
But then like, you just get like comfortable with one another and you check in when you can, whatever, whatever. And then honestly, like me and Ryan right now, because we're so far away, like we will have days where we are on the phone every free second that we have,
yeah,
because like we don't get to see each other
see each
except
other.
on like some weekends. So I think that it kind of just depends on, your phase of life. But if it was an expectation and like he was getting mad that I wasn't talking to him
Yeah,
all day every day, that's definitely a deal breaker.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, they also say open communication about how you're feeling. I agree. But I also think
I
that this
agree.
comes with time.
Yeah, you gotta build trust. You've gotta build trust and form that underlying
Mabel is like on top of Mally. All you can see in the camera is her skinny little legs and her fluffy head.
She looks like a character off of a movie, but I cannot
I
for the life.
know. What does she look like? Maybe
It's the
someone will
villain
tell
off
us
of,
in the comments.
yeah, she looks crazy.
Sound off in the
Anyway,
comments. What cartoon characters does Mabel look like right now?
anyways, sorry. Oh, I don't even remember what the response was.
It was open communication about how you're feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because so much can get lost if you don't just say what's actually on your mind. So much misinterpretation, and it will cause literally a whole other problem that you
Yeah.
just don't want to. So much could be avoided if everyone was just honest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then the last one is a man who prioritizes his health.
I like that one.
I do
Health in
too.
all aspects, like I was trying to prioritize on our New Year's episode.
Yeah.
No, I think because that shows that they like value themselves and they love
Yeah,
themselves.
I'll agree. I can't really be with it's kind of like if we're imagining that we're in on the dating scene, okay, during this episode. I don't think I could be with a guy who is a couch potato, like won't go on
Mm-mm.
walks and whatever.
Yeah, that's honestly an ick for me.
Mhm.
People who just don't value the body and the life that they've been given.
See, that is kind of a non-negotiable for me. And me and a girl we went to high school with, Jalen Egbert, randomly were talking about this like not that long ago. She put something on her story and was like, life is so beautiful and like there's so much to appreciate. And I stood up and was like, no, literally. And why do people not understand this? And she was like, and it's like mostly guys. And I was like, literally, It
Yeah.
is mostly guys. Why do they not like, we get one life, and
I
it's
don't
not
know.
that long, and the world is so beautiful, and there's so much to see and be happy about.
And I just think about that. It's cracking me up. I'm so sorry. I think about that so often that like I've always really thought about that, especially like after I exercise. I'm just like I'm so thankful that I have a body that can do that,
Yeah.
even though it's a struggle to watch and to do. I'm just thankful that I have like the ability and I'm still capable of doing things like
Yeah.
that. And that makes me want to continue to do them the older I get. Like I know that I'm losing some of my flexibility and I'm just my body is aging and I know I'm still young, but it makes me want to practice like healthful acts so I can
Yes.
enjoy them later in life.
And as I get older and, like, I'm 23, so, like, I'm not that old. I'm never gonna say that I'm that old, but anyway, as
Sit
I, like, think about aging and, like, getting older and stuff, I think I have to be with somebody who is going to do their best to, like, maintain their physical and, like, mental abilities because first of all, it would just be the most sad thing to just see someone, like, deteriorate in front of you without
yeah.
them, like, even trying to keep themselves up or whatever, and also, I think that that they kind of owe that if that person is, like, my life partner, you kind of owe that to your partner to, like,
And to like
be
your kids.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
to be as good as you can for as long as you can, you know? Okay, so that was our non-negotiable section. We have some other questions. Instagram keeps kicking me out of this. Okay. Next section. Red flags you can't look past. Someone said who their friends are.
That is so telling.
So true.
Our favorite thing is you are the sum of the 5 people that you're around the most.
Mhm.
And it's so telling by who your friends are as to who you are.
Yeah.
So if you see things you don't like in their friends, like that you cannot look past, just know they probably possess the same traits.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Or at least it's going to be like easy for them to slip into that kind
yeah.
of thing.
And they accept those actions because
Mhm.
they're friends with them. So,
And I think again as we get a little bit older that the lines like kind of fade a little bit because if it's like friends from high school or something,
yeah,
like they might be like separated enough from those people to where
right.
that's kind of okay, but
Yeah.
um
And you'll
definitely.
always have traits in your friends that you're not the most fond of. But I think that there's a level and a degree of like caution that you definitely need to take.
Yeah. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. It's so loud in my apartment. Okay. Someone said soft hands as a red flag she can't get past.
Soft hands?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I agree, like on a guy,
Oh,
you know?
okay. Does it show that they're a hard worker?
Yeah.
What if they just like have chapped hands?
What do you mean
It's
chat?
winter and their hands are just dry.
Oh,
It's
well
not
that's bad. Like
that's not
yeah.
because they're hard workers.
That's because they don't believe in lotion.
Yeah.
No, I like what do you think about this? Are you like a soft hands apologist or do you want a guy who like, is
No,
like
I definitely get the feel of like a torn hand man.
a guy who splits firewood? Is like
Yeah, I get the draw of a man who has like a few knuckles that are busted
yeah.
and like a couple black fingernails from hitting him with a nail
Yeah.
or a
You
hammer.
get it. Yeah.
I get it.
My dad would always and this is kind of like Freudian, the Freud thing that like everybody do you know the Freud theory?
No.
Oh, this is gonna be kind of weird. Basically, it's that like every single child at some point in their life is attracted to their parents.
Oh, yeah. Well, they say you marry
Yeah,
who reminds you of your
and
parents.
like I kind of believe that theory, not at all to say like I'm
You're
weird.
attracted to your dad?
Like, yeah, let's not do that. But like people do marry people that are like their parents.
Yeah.
And my dad would always have like big slices on his hands and stuff
Yeah.
from like working in something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, well, first of all, I hated it when I was little. Like I would be like, you're gonna bleed out. Like because in my brain, like the cuts on his hand were huge.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh yeah, manual labor.
I love when they have to physically exhaust themselves at my expense.
Yeah.
No, I think that it's a more wholesome outlook because I think it shows that your father was a good example of a husband, like to your mother.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that that's sweet.
No, yeah, you're right.
They just showed you what you should look for. Not that you
Yeah.
should look for them, but like they showed you they were a good example of what a good husband was.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the same
Is.
thing that I say about careers, because Ryan used to always say, all lawyers' kids become lawyers. And I was like, first of all,
That's not a bad thing.
no. And this is what I always said to him. Like, my dad is a lawyer, if anyone doesn't know, or now he's a judge, but he was a lawyer. And I'm going to law school. And I'm like, okay, I liked the way that I grew up. I'm okay with raising my children in the same way that I grew up.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Also,
what's the
I need
problem?
to add while my mom was stomping on the side of the road to get her car, she said, "I'm calling Doug Jenkins." I was like, "Oh, do that. He's a judge. He's
Yeah.
not a lawyer
I
anymore."
don't think he can help her, but if she just wants to rant, I'm sure he'll be happy to listen.
I was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do you any good." But anyways,
We kind of just went down a rabbit hole. What were we talking? Oh, soft hands.
yeah, soft hands.
Yeah. So basically, I agree, and also
Oh, wow,
for
I
me,
get
like I'm gonna hate on like the guys of today here for just a second.
it.
I'm
Okay.
so thankful that like me and Ryan got together when we did, and like we've been a little on and off, and whatever, but like basically together for a long time. Because the guys out here are like,
It's
I,
scary.
I'm not into it. Like I'm not.
Um, I was all like in college, all my friends were like dating still, and they would talk to me, and I was like, I'm so glad that I'm in a secure relationship.
Yeah.
Do you see your pause? Because I just don't think that I could do it. It's a scary world out there,
I
and
just
it is, as Sabrina Carpenter said, it is slim pickings.
it is. Yeah. And
Sorry.
uh, either like I'm sorry, I don't want to like get into gender stereotypes or anything right now, but like I personally, my personal preference, no one get mad at me.
Is a
I
manly
want
man.
a manly man, like a guy who's a guy,
Me too.
And
Yeah.
however, it adds another level of harshness because manly men are sometimes like very
Losers.
hateful toward some areas of life that I don't want people in my life to be hateful toward. But you can find it if you just keep looking. And
Yeah.
honestly, I would rather be single than be with either someone that's hateful or not what I want. So,
Yeah. All those in favor of a manly man, rise up.
yeah,
This is your
yeah.
time. Speak your truth
Bring
and
back
stand
manly
on
men.
that. Manly men in 2025, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we need.
And I really don't say that to hate on like slightly non-manly men, and I also think your mindset is what makes you manly sometimes. But it takes all kinds to make the world go round. However, I'm into manly men for my personal preferences.
Same. Look at us
Okay.
not man hating.
I know we're doing good.
We're doing so good.
Last
Sorry.
one on red flags you can't look past when they're rude to waiters, fast food workers, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, being rude to someone they have no reason to be rude to. No, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Honestly, like even if they are being rude ever. Like, unless someone has really wronged you, if I see you being rude, especially early in a relationship, absolutely
No.
not. It's no from me.
I'm gonna brag on Colin for just a second. He
Okay.
had for our party, he had to go pick up one of our friends, and he was just now telling me today, he was like, "Yeah, when I went to pick her up, I kept looking at the door to see when she was coming out, and I was glancing down at my phone, and all of a sudden she was just like at the car." He was like, "I felt bad. I was gonna get out and open the door for her and stuff." And I was like, "See, that's how you should treat
Yeah,
everyone. Just going like holding the door for strangers, smiling, just being cordial. I think that it shows so much of who your character is."
I agree. Colin is very polite.
Thanks. I've trained him. Kidding. He was
Okay.
like that when I found him.
Okay. Unspoken rules of dating. So, I said the sidewalk rule. Do
Yes.
you guys follow the sidewalk?
Oh
Colin
yeah.
definitely follows the sidewalk rule. So, if anyone
Ladies
doesn't,
never walk on the outside.
yeah, if anyone doesn't know, which I think most people do,
Yeah.
the guy, and we're talking about normative relationships. Sorry. But the guy walks, um, on the outside of the sidewalk facing the road.
Yeah. Like, if a car were to hit someone, it would be them,
I know,
not
and I
you.
think that's such a I was thinking about for some reason, I was thinking about this, even though, as I said, I'm very far from having kids, but I was like, "How am I gonna teach my sons to follow the sidewalk rule?" Because like, when they're little, I'm gonna wanna walk on the outside.
Oh, I'm not. I'll say, "Here you go." I'm kidding.
Here you go, little three-year-old. If anyone's getting hit, it's
Literally
you.
learning to walk. I'll be like, "Outside."
Because, like, literally the idea is
Yeah.
although the idea is kind of like if a car was gonna hit someone, it's gonna be him, but it's also like if a car goes by and, like, sprays water up on the up on the
Yeah.
sidewalk, it'll be on
Death
him.
doesn't have to be the only
Yeah.
situation we're thinking of.
Sure.
I think they'll learn by example of their
Yeah,
father.
learn by example, yeah, you're right. Okay, um, he pays on a date. We both
This
know
one
that.
is so great, I feel like, in today's society.
Gray?
Yeah, it's a gray area, like, if she invites him, then men are now wanting women to pay. But I think on a first date.
Yeah, I think the overwhelming majority is still the guy
Yeah,
pays.
yeah. I get
Especially,
it,
like
like, once you've dated and you've been dating, like, okay, share the love a little bit, like, he doesn't need
yeah,
to be draining his bank account. Um,
except, like, maybe.
the past year, I've been the breadwinner, so
Yeah,
I try to pay for
so
most things just
yeah.
because Colin hasn't had a job,
Mhm.
but sometimes I'll give him my card and still let him pay.
Yeah.
It's all about the action.
It's all about the appearance. Keep
Right.
up appearances. Okay. You have to surprise the lady with random gifts, flowers, coffee, dessert, etc. every now and then.
I think I know who wrote this
Yeah,
in.
that was Colin. We have 4 suggestions from Colin for
He
all the
must
guys
think
out
he's
there.
so
He
good.
does. He thinks he's the blueprint. He's not.
He really does, and, like, he's just a very thoughtful guy. He will leave me, like, little notes in my lunchbox for work, and he's just super considerate, and I think that that is a great quality to look for when you're with someone, just to know that they're it doesn't have to be, like, an extraordinary gift, but just to know that they're thinking of you in the simple acts.
Mhm.
It's really sweet.
Yeah. I
So
totally
he does
agree.
a good job.
And, like, little things like we always say mail people letters, but, like, that's always gonna be it's just an unmatched feeling to, like, come home from school or work or whatever, and you have, like, a little piece of mail from
Yeah.
someone who thought of you
No, I
days
agree.
ago, and, like,
I
now it's
agree.
getting to you. Anyways, okay. Make one meal together from scratch, in parentheses, Chick-fil-A nuggets and fries.
It's just a fun activity to do together.
Yeah.
Colin and I made these, and it was good.
Did you make them, like, from scratch?
Yeah, like, we did the whole breading and everything on the chicken.
Nice,
It was
cool.
really good. But I think that that's just a wholesome activity,
Mhm.
and it's not super expensive, and you don't have to go I mean, you gotta go to the grocery store, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then you just have fun, and if you like it, you can do it again.
I think that's a great suggestion. Always remind your lady how beautiful she is.
Good job, Colin.
Thank you, Colin, for that suggestion. So true, though, and that's gonna get into
Yeah,
something that we're gonna talk about here in just a little bit. So keep that in mind. And then also buy your lady books.
Colin does do
Also, so
did
good.
so well, he bought me a Kindle
Yeah. So you have
and went to the
unlimited.
library and got me a library card in my name.
Yeah.
So,
So sweet.
maybe he's the standard.
Okay. And then the last question that we asked, it was a poll, just like yes or no, and it was, "Do you believe in the one?" And let's see our percentages here. Maybe. Okay, 88% said, "Of course," and 12% said, "Not really."
So, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. What is your vote?
I think I'm yes, but I have views.
Okay.
I have thoughts. I think that wherever you are in life, you will find someone, like, who you're exposed to. But then again, I'm like, no, I'm put here in this moment, in this life, for this person. So I see both sides. I definitely get it if you don't think that. Um, but then again, you can just look at it as like, no, I was given this life for this reason, for this person. And I
Mhm.
think that that's really sweet to think about also.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. So I wish that we had put, I was saying this to Mally a little bit ago. I wish that we had put, do you believe in the one? And then do you believe in soulmates? Because I kind of think that that's two different questions. I think I do believe in the one, like to find the one for you, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
But I think that there's a little bit of like a personal decision in that. Like I'm
Yeah,
deciding that you're the one for me, like I'm not looking
definitely.
anymore kind of thing. But
Yeah.
then I think there maybe are like a couple people out there that like you're compatible enough with that you could marry, you know?
I feel like I think of soulmates on more than just a romantic level, like friendships
Definitely.
and everything. I think they're like soul ties.
Mhm.
Like you and I feel like we are a soul tie.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's other people in my life that I have soul ties to. And I feel like if I moved halfway across the country, I would probably find people there that I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you are a soul tie to me.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the hopeless romantic in me is like, no, I'm given this life for this
Mhm.
reason to be with this one person. So I would say, yeah, I believe in the one. Do
Yeah.
you? Is that your conclusion?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a hard just because we're not in control of where
Yeah.
we were put or what life we were given, so it's kinda hard to say. I guess just ask your maker, "Geez,
Yeah. I think
why
that
are you asking me?"
this gets into a lot of like I could talk about this for centuries because like it, you only just
You
very
only
briefly.
know the world in which you exist in.
Yes, and you like the way that time works, like we're only in one place at one time, all like
Yeah,
in a linear line throughout our
yeah,
lives. I feel like if bear with me, if time didn't work that way and like if we could be in multiple, I don't know, dimensions or something, I'm thinking of like interstellar vibes right now, then maybe there would be like multiple, you know?
yeah.
But then
No,
like
I completely get
but
it.
you and I believe, and like a lot of people who listen to this podcast believe that like God puts us in these places for like particular reasons and
Yeah,
whatever. So under that belief, like I would say, yeah, there's definitely like one person that I'm supposed to be with. But then I'm like, but a lot of people get married and divorced and like are with different people and have
yeah.
different friendships throughout their lives. So I
Maybe
don't know.
I you know what? I'm gonna stop myself from speaking. I feel like you could just think about it and think on it and think on it and think on it and go through so many different avenues.
Yeah.
But the hopeless romantic in me says yes.
Yeah. And
I just
unlike
love to think of romance. Like I'm
I
a
do too.
romantic, so
That's another thing I was gonna say about this episode is this it's kind of giving like a high school vibe, like boy crazy vibe. But you know what? First of all, society teaches us to be that way. And secondly, it's fun.
it is fun.
The books that are most interesting to me have a romance element. The movies that are
I
most
don't
interesting, it's
wanna read it if it's not about love.
literally.
Literally let them murder someone as long as they're in love.
And the cases I read, like if it's about a marriage or like, there's some crazy relationship in the like tied into these cases, I'm so much more interested in
Yeah,
them.
same.
So
Anywho,
oh, and Mally always says, very much jokingly, that she's going to keep the ring if Colin and her break up. But I told her the other day, I had read a case in my property class that in most jurisdictions, you have to give the ring back.
unless
Unless, well, it depends what state you're in. I'm not sure what the law is in Tennessee. But unless in some jurisdictions, the man is at fault or the person who gave the ring is at fault.
which literally, like, who else would be at fault?
Yeah.
If this goes down, like, it's y'all know it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be my fault.
Yeah. And even if it is, we're making it look like it's Colin's fault.
I've got a lawyer.
Literally. You were keeping the ring.
Lit.
We're
Yeah,
figuring it out.
I will be keeping it.
Mhm.
For what use? I don't know, but I will be keeping it.
It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I had a dream last night that I got engaged and I saw the ring.
And now that's the ring you're gonna have?
Like, maybe.
Are you
It was
having
so
visions?
what?
Okay, Raven. I said, "No, you having
I
visions?"
know, literally. Well,
This is
the
crazy.
should I just tell this dream? I have a general rule, as we've
Here we
said,
go.
that dreams are not interesting unless the people are in them, but I feel like people's wedding dreams and, like, engagement are kind of interesting.
Okay.
Just
Go
really
ahead and share.
briefly. So, Ryan and I got engaged. You and Colin were there.
Oh, well, duh. Where else would we be?
And he hadn't, like, asked my dad. So
Oh,
I was like, "No, you're trying again." I was like, "You're doing this again." And,
Yeah.
like, something else happened that I, like, didn't like, so I was like, "No, like, we're doing it again." But it was being broadcasted somewhere. So
No,
he
you
was
I
like
would never allow that, don't you worry.
literally yeah, you're right.
Can't
But
believe I did that.
but I was like he was so embarrassed because I had, like, said no, basically, and, like, that I wanted him to do it again. But anyway, he would never do that. He's perfect. He would never do anything wrong, so
Right, and I would never allow that, and
so true.
also add it to the list, like, he needs to ask me for my permission, like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but
Hopefully, he'll
whatever.
listen to this episode. He won't
Probably
listen
not.
to this episode.
We'll clip it and send it to him.
Yeah. Also, when I was in Cookeville, I was eating lunch with him and Trey, their
Yeah.
roommate, and Trey and Ryan were like, "We could have a podcast. We'd have so much to talk about." And they were talking about Colin and everything. And I was like, "Yeah, me and Mally thought we would have a lot to talk about too. But once you get to like episode 13, it gets really difficult.
Him, you're really scratching your brain,
It gets
trying to rack
really
up some
hard."
ideas.
Okay. So we have just a few rules that we ourselves have come up with that I think we really did follow every one of these. I
Yeah.
think I did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have
Oh,
too.
you're like, "Oh, you let a few slide."
So the number one rule that this is what sparked our idea for this episode
Mhm.
is you get one breakup. You can break
Yes.
up one time and get back together, and then if you break up again, that person is out of your life.
You're done.
That is not your person.
I followed that,
Mhm.
and you did too, and I think that that's a good rule to have,
I think
like,
so
if it
too.
didn't work twice, maybe it's just not meant to be.
Yeah. Well,
It's
and
ran its course.
the inspiration for this rule, we've had this, I feel like we've said this since high school.
Yeah, we have.
And the inspiration was like all of the couples in high school that would break up and get back together and break up and get back together and break up and get back together. And we were just like, that can never, like, I feel like everybody was like, that will never be me, you know?
Yeah.
So we installed these rules.
Yes, so we obeyed it, and, I think that it's a testament to how much work you're willing to put in, because ever since Colin and I got back together, it has not always been rainbows and sunshine, but if you're willing to put in the work and, like, try your best, I think that's a good sign. Or
Yes.
something else. Oh, and if you do break up, let's just make this a disclaimer. If you do break up and you are not at fault. Say you did not cheat, you did not insinuate the breaking up. The man must beg for you to take him back on his hands and knees for a long amount of time.
I agree.
We are
Grovel.
not going back when they simply hit you up with a "Hey, what are you doing?" We play the long game, and we will play damsel in distress and make this man beg for us back.
Yeah. Well, damsel in distress is,
No, meaning like he has to cater to every little need that I have.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, not like
Yeah.
I need him. Like
No,
we
never.
will. I remember when Colin and I got back together, we were in the car and he had to list off a list of things he would never do again.
Yeah.
And I have a witness. So,
Hmm. I think I'm really glad you brought that up. That's a really important aspect of this as well.
yeah. You can't just go crawling back immediately. Like,
No.
let them pine.
Yes, they should be pining for you, they should be groveling for you, they should be begging for
Yes.
you, they should be obsessed with you. If
Yep.
they're not obsessed with you, it's not your guy. And I
Not
will
your guy.
say, like, in many high school relationships, they're not gonna be obsessed with you, and that's because they're not your guy, you know?
That is so real. That is so real.
But that's okay, like, it's high school. Have
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
Unless you find your I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry guys, I was a sophomore.
Okay, number 2. How he treats his mom or his sisters is how he will treat you one day.
Very accurate. So accurate.
Yeah. I
That is the mother is a son's first love. I'm gonna say it. And I know boy moms are weird and questionable and always. But the mother is the son's first love. My dad is like talking to me through the window, asking if he's being too loud. The mother is the son's first love. So how he treats his first love is very insightful of how he will treat you.
yeah.
And his sisters, like, I don't think that it's not a good sign if a man is not protective of his sisters. Like, he should feel protective of them to some degree.
Yep.
And I think that's a good sign.
I agree. I
You
agree.
could speak on that even more. You have brothers.
Yeah, I have brothers, and I think all of my brothers are examples of this. Like, I think they're all good to me and good to my mom. So,
Yeah.
and Colin's good to his mom and sisters.
Why would
And
you wanna
Ryan's
be with
good to
someone
his
who's
mom.
not good to their family? That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's already, like, weird. But,
Yeah.
there's something else I was gonna say about this. Sisters, moms. Oh, when you are early in the relationship with you, even, like, when you're dating, like, up until you're married for however many years, like, it can be really, like, exciting and, he's gonna be, like, super excited about you and always wanna be with you and be super sweet to you. But when he's treating his mom is, like, how he treats women that he's used to being around, that he's completely comfortable with,
Yeah.
maybe even that he, like, relies on. If he's taking advantage of his mom's kindness, he's gonna take advantage of your kindness.
So accurate.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think that's a really important one. I really do.
I do too.
And that goes for, like, other female family members as well, like, if cousins, aunts, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. I said this, and I think that Mally totally agrees. Yelling for me, like, raising your voice is an absolute no. Like,
No.
Ryan has never one, which Ryan's not a big yeller anyway, but never one time raised his voice at me. I feel like
Yeah.
even when it was like an urgent situation when I needed to be like paying attention or something, never.
Yeah. You can get in heated arguments and you can raise your tone, but the second you begin to yell at me,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Or even like name call kind of like
Yeah.
if
Oh,
he's being disrespectful to you in any way,
yes. Do not curse at me and do not call me names.
the cursing is our rule number 4, I think.
Let's dive right into
Let's
that.
dive into cursing.
A man who curses, listen, I am not higher than anyone else. We all slip up.
Yeah, me and Allie,
I
neither of us really curse very much, but we do, like, occasionally. We don't on the podcast, but
don't know. I'm just saying we all slip up. We all make mistakes.
yeah.
I'm not a cursor. Colin is not a cursor. But men who curse at I feel like almost in general,
Yeah,
it's such an ick for me.
me
I
too.
think that it makes people sound like not intelligent,
I think so too.
genuinely.
Find
And I'm
another
not trying
word.
to be rude or like trying to be like, I'm better than everyone else. I just think that like at this age that we're at, if we can't articulate ourselves in a thoughtful manner without having to drop the F bomb and GD every other word, then like take a step back.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
I
I'm
agree.
not trying to sound like mean or anything.
Yeah,
I think it's this age that we're at. Like we're mature adults, not mature, like their frontal lobes haven't developed yet, but
close.
they're developing.
Mhm.
I think that it shows like a sign of emotional intelligence when a man can get angry and not cuss.
Absolutely, and I'm so much more okay with cursing when you're having fun or when you're playing a game than when you're angry. If you're
Yeah.
getting angry and cursing, especially at me, I feel like one time,
Yeah.
if a man cursed at me one time, I would literally never talk to him again. Like,
Yeah.
that's such a hard line for me. Like, you're not going to get really even, like, get really mad at me. Like, I'm not
No.
going to do that.
No. I will not
Um,
be cursed at
but, like, if a
unless
guy
you're cracking a joke.
literally, and
That hurts.
my dad would really never cuss, and he would always be like, "I don't cuss unless I'm telling a story." However, even when he's, like, telling a story and it's a really bad word, like, if it's the F word, it hurts my ears. Like,
Yeah.
the F word grates on my ears, and it's not when
I
anybody
hate
says
it.
it, it's just, like, my brothers or, like, my family, really.
No, I think that it's like what really grinds my gears is when people I don't know are saying it every other word.
Yeah.
I'm like, formulate a sentence without it,
Yeah.
just as a test.
I know.
But yeah, men who curse are out. We
Yeah.
need manly men who don't curse.
But also, like, I feel like even just, like, cursing with their friends, like, I don't really care. As long as it's not GD and the F word, I don't, and if it's not all the
Yeah,
time, I don't care. But at me, sometimes even, like, in my presence, I'm gonna be like, "Ugh, I
like
don't
you're in the presence of royalty.
literally act like it." No, okay, that brings up another thing. How do you feel about, like, this concept, especially that, like, we grew up with in, like, the South and Tennessee and, like, Christian houses, about, like, guys being able to say like, not saying certain things in front of, like, their mom and grandmas and sisters, but then, like, it was okay with other guys.
I like it to some degree.
Me
I
too, I
think that
think
it
it's a level
shows
of respect.
respect the female gender. I get men have a very niche sense of humor, and it's usually targeted towards women.
Yeah.
I get it. Don't
I'm
say it
not
in front of a woman,
yeah,
especially the woman that you are talking about
yeah,
or that has a emotional relationship with one of the men involved.
yeah, yeah.
Do not say it in front of her,
No.
and be careful what you say when she's not in the room. I think that when you're with a good man, the man you're supposed to be with, he won't let that slide, even
Yes.
if you're not in the room.
I completely agree, and I think that like, I'm okay with I agree with you with that idea, just, like, like, my brothers certainly and I think it's, like, mostly because of, like, my grandmama and my mama, but they would, like, definitely curse, like, even when we were, like, outside playing games and stuff, they would, like, cuss and go on and whatever, but when we were, like, in front of our grandmothers, they really didn't or, like, would do their best not to, not I think also if cursing is, like, compulsory to you, like, you can't stop it, that's a problem, but,
Yeah.
um but then so, like, that I think is okay, but just generally that idea that, like, saying stuff in front of only guys is okay, but it's not in front of women, I think that not to sound like a snowflake, but I think that it really perpetuates, like, really bad things that we should be going in the other way from in
Yeah,
today's
you
age.
don't think men should be able to
I don't think men should be objectifying people or,
women.
like,
Yeah.
saying
No, I
horrible
get
things.
an inappropriate joke every now and then. I totally get it. I do.
Sure.
It's because that's how men are. But
Yeah, but even
I
that
don't
is,
think
like
that it should be an issue. I don't think that it should be such a main focus of conversation, every conversation,
yeah,
that it, like, becomes an issue,
yeah.
and I do not ever think it should be said in the presence of a woman.
I don't think it should be like, I mean, I don't wanna marry a guy who isn't gonna say stuff in front of me, but is gonna say it in front of other people. Like,
Exactly.
that like, that's my own personal thing because I don't wanna live a life like that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go a step further and say I don't like that guys do that in general, period,
No, I
because
definitely agree.
yeah, because it, like it makes it I'm sorry, but, like, somewhere in their subconscious, it, like, makes them think of women as
As an object.
like, less than as men.
Yeah.
Because I can say this in front of my guy friends, but I can't say it in front of a girl,
Right.
you know?
I was thinking more when I was explaining that, like, the cursing in front of
Yeah,
grandparents
yeah.
and things like that, like, being respectful of conversation in front of women.
Yeah, just kind of reading the room, honestly.
Yeah, not cursing, just things like, guys, they cut up when they're together. Some
Yeah.
of them curse and go on and whatever, but I think that as women, we shouldn't have to hear those things.
I do agree. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
But yeah, maybe they should just stop objectifying women. Maybe.
It's ugh, that's a
Let's move
that
on.
could be a whole episode
Let's move
because I
on.
have lots of thoughts. Okay.
This episode is gonna be like an hour and a half long. I'm so sorry, guys.
I know. Okay, being controlling just in general, and that's kind of really vague, but we'll talk about it, is another no. That's a non-negotiable.
No. Colin is very protective, I will say. He worries about my safety a lot,
Mhm.
like physically, my safety. And I think that that is so sweet. But we had this conversation last night. I said, I will never let it get to the point where you tell me where I can and cannot go. And I'm sorry. I'm a petty person, though. I'm very petty, and I'm aware of that. I do not ever want to feel like I'm being controlled in the locations that I can. I'm never going to put myself in a situation knowingly that I'm, like, not safe in.
Yeah.
Duh. But I do not like the vibe of when someone tells me where I can and cannot go or what I can and cannot do. As a grown adult,
Mhm.
like, I get my parents telling me that when I was younger, but, like, I'm an adult now. Like, I can formulate my own opinion, and like I said, I'm not going to take myself somewhere where I'm not safe.
Yeah. You can
But
make your
anyway,
own decisions on your own safety. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I completely agree. I think that I just, like it is, like, against my DNA to, like, listen if a man is gonna tell me to do something.
But this is very telling of who we are slightly petty people.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna just be confused and then do it anyway, like, I'm so not going
Yeah.
to like, I don't think that I'm like, not that my brain is, like, so superior to people who are controlled, but, like, I don't think that I think I would laugh, like
Yeah. No, I agree.
and there was something else I was gonna say about being controlled. Oh, however, I do think that I kinda need to be with a person who's gonna, like, occasionally tell me, "You shouldn't do that, that's stupid."
No, you do need that. You're too you're almost too oblivious
Well,
to
I
be let
think
out on
that
the loose alone.
sometimes I'm certainly oblivious, like, I literally just don't know what's going on around me, but then also sometimes I'll be like, "That is a little bit scary," but when I think something is scary, I wanna do it. Like, I want to, like, make myself comfortable doing that thing,
Okay.
even if it's, like, genuinely scary. So I think
When
that I need someone to say, "That's stupid, why would you do that?"
Yeah, I feel like when you and I go out by ourselves alone, like, I'm the man of the relationship. I'm the one checking our surroundings in a parking garage. Like, I'm the man. So and then you're like,
But I'm just like, "I'll be fine," like,
and you don't know left from right, so, like, that's also
that's so
questionable,
true.
so
That's been a hard lesson for my friends here to learn, and I'm, like, a little bit embarrassed sometimes when I, like, turn the
I
wrong
think
way.
that that's a good thing to be embarrassed about, personally. I
Okay,
think that that should initiate, like, some self-work to go
okay.
on.
I know, but, like, it genuinely just doesn't click in my brain. Being
How many
controlled
more do we have? We
1
can't
more.
keep
We
going.
have 1
Okay.
more.
I was about to say
If a man ever gives you a hint that he does not like what you look like your physical appearance, he
run.
doesn't like you, and that
No, he
is just
doesn't.
how that works.
I th I think I can speak for both of us, but I'll speak for myself. Colin has never made me doubt for 1 second that he does not physically find me attractive,
Yeah.
and I think that that is so important to look for in a relationship,
Yes.
because even like, you are not going to feel confident all the time.
Mhm.
Very rarely, actually, will you probably feel super confident. Having someone to lift you up and validate you is so refreshing, and, like, you don't it leaves no room for worry or
Yeah,
question.
and it
So
yeah. Are you sorry.
no, I'm done. That's all I have to say.
We always say, like, your physical appearance, what you look like, no matter, like, your level of prettiness or ugliness, whatever, it should be the least interesting thing about you, and, like, your brain is more interesting, and, like, the way that you love people and your friendships and your whatever is so much more interesting, but there's no way that you can think that unless you are a very strong-willed person. If there's someone in your ear saying, "You need to go to the gym," or, like, "You really could" whatever, just whatever it might be,
Yeah,
if they're saying anything negative about you, that is going to stick in your brain, and it's gonna make you think about what you look like so much more frequently than you would
right.
otherwise.
And I think you also need to remember when finding, like, your soulmate, you're only gonna get uglier from here. I'm so sorry.
Literally.
Like, you're gonna get saggy, you're gonna get wrinkly, you're gonna get fatter, all the things. It's only downhill from here.
Yeah.
So find someone that you know is, like, truly in love and obsessed with you beyond the surface as well.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they might be attractive now. I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this, you're gonna get ugly,
We
and
all
you need
do.
to be secure. So, just be ready for that.
Yeah. And, um, if they truly, truly, like, love you for who you are, they're going to think you're attractive. It's impossible not to find someone attractive that you love.
Right. Exactly. And that is just a really good ending, I feel like.
I think so too.
If you have made it to the end of this, oh my gosh, should we have them comment turtle like we did on our first episode?
We should.
Comment a red heart on our Instagram post
Yeah.
if you made it this far.
Please.
A test, if you will.
A test.
Don't ever settle, ladies.
Don't
And
ever.
for the few men that might listen, don't ever settle. I think they're already all married, aka my father.
Yeah. I think so too.
Um, good pick, I guess.
Yeah, he's winning. He has the best woman.
Yeah, what a win. But we hope that you all enjoyed this episode. It was really so fun to talk about and to record. I really enjoyed making this episode.
We're living out our middle school dreams.
Are we?
Yeah, because it's like talking about boys, you know?
Oh, yeah. Really, for me, I was, like, in love with Colin in middle school.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and now I'm literally marrying him, which is weird.
I didn't know
We've
Ryan
got
existed.
some Huh?
I didn't know Ryan existed in middle school. You did.
I did. Um, we've got some exciting episodes lined up.
Mhm,
Gonna delve into some Laura Gray specific things, and
mhm.
then some hopeful wedding content will hopefully be coming soon.
Yep.
So, really exciting things that just really apply to us that we love to talk about because we're obsessed.
'Cause it's our
But
podcast.
yeah, if you all forgot, we own this. But we hope that you all have a great Valentine's Day and you feel nothing less than the absolute most special person in the world because we love you.
We love you.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.